probably going to want to run 1-4-1 as your support build. It's obviously the Shadow Demon gives you the free Light Strike Array setup if you've practiced at all, and that's fantastic because now that's a 2.5 second stun with a ton of damage on it at level 4, or at level 7 for the hero, level 4 for the ability. The Fiery Soul Change is actually really huge, really huge, and I haven't seen too many people talking about it. If you play Lina, you know that to roll the buff consistently, you can't just use one spell. You need to Slave, and then like 7-ish seconds later you do Light Strike Array, and then you do Slave again. Obviously fairly mana intensive, and also it means that if you start a fight and your Light Strike Array is down, then you don't have that Light Strike Array until the cooldown comes back up because you've been rolling the buff. So sometimes people don't roll the buff at all. They start a fight with 0 buff stacks, which is a huge movement speed and attack speed loss. Now, all you need to do to roll the buff at 3 is Slave. You never have to cast Light Strike Array if you don't want to, and that's actually that's like genuinely really big if you have enough, if you have like a Yule, so you have the mana to keep doing that.
I want to ask you about this Witch Doctor pickup because of course we talked about this already, but the Faceless Void, it doesn't allow ward types to attack inside of the pit or inside of the Chronosphere. Does that mean that you can attack to it, or
good question,
or it doesn't attack if it's inside of it? That's
a really good question. So you're saying, like, if you plant the ward outside of the Chronosphere, will it fire inside the Chronosphere?
I think that should still work, but maybe I'm incorrect.
Should. That's a really interesting point. We'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, I guess we will.
We are guaranteed to find out.
Yeah, there's no way this game goes short enough that there's no Chronosphere plus Witch Doctor Ultimate, especially with Illidan playing the Naga Siren, one of his favorite heroes, and honestly, this could get very difficult for Evil Geniuses. A lineup that has a lot of early game pressure, but the Brewmaster and the Tidehunter, again, should provide enough power in the mid game for Virtus.pro and even the lead and Shadow Demon to survive the onslaught from Evil Geniuses, although this is an Artor Razor that we are looking at, by the way.
It's a very classic matchup. I feel like the powerful team fighting and just solid overall versus like the very strong early mid game into Naga. I think if you're gonna pick Naga, this is a pretty sensible lineup because the Lina Shadow Demon has so much roam potential that they're gonna be obviously be fairly scared in their lanes. Lina also is not scared of like the Razor, like. A lot of times when you roam supports, the unstable current can really mess up your plan. But here that doesn't really matter because, yeah, it'll proc on Shadow Demon, but he's just doing it to disrupt you anyway. Yeah. And then it won't proc on Lina at all until and unless she uses Laguna.
Is this going to be the patch of Lina? Are we going to see her played a lot more often?
I think Lina is very good. Some people think that she is very bad. Like, I know all of Cloud9 thinks that hero is dumpster tier. I think she's amazing, but I mean, Cloud9 is much better at Dota than I am, so I don't know.
well, EG, what is this smoke? What is happening right now? What's actually going on here? There's smoke. They're going to try to contest this bottom rune, I think. And it looks like Virtus.pro don't have an idea that this is happening. I mean, nobody's going to have an idea that this is happening. Who smokes into the Roach Pit? Oh, the counter smoke for Virtus.pro. Oh, no. What is going to happen here? Please go. No. Go to the river, guys. Come on.
This is what this is the patch of. This is the patch of Clowny.
PPD is going to bait. He is going to bait. PPD is going to bait. He's going to see them as soon as they walk down to the low ground here. They're going to throw up the ward. FNG is going to look for a disruption. PPD might be in trouble. Disruption's going to come through. Universe is not there yet. The cast is going to go in the Light Strike Array. PPD is going to give up first blood, it looks like. He gets the grave off. He gets the grave off. Livell is in some trouble. He is going to give away. What a deny! The deny comes out from FNG. Are you kidding me? He's going to get right-click down, and he will be the first one finally. Oh my goodness. I can't handle this, man. Illidan is getting chased down, but I don't know if they can get this kill. They have Cask. They have time lock. Universe will be up onto the high ground in just a second. Illidan might need a TP rotation. They can't get this kill. I don't think they die for it. Oh my god. PPD with the grave and then the deny coming out. What a game.
Yeah. So this is 6.83. It's level 1. Just stupid garbage happening at Rune. And I think it's actually a big deal because it means that you are really not justified taking more than one hero who can't play at level 1. If you have 2 heroes who are useless at level 1, you're going to get blown out for that level 1 rune. So certain heroes are going to be pretty difficult to fit into lineups because they don't have enough level 1 play, in my opinion.
That was an unbelievable engagement that turned out to be not as maybe important as we once thought it was. The first one, obviously, going the way of Universe, I believe, is huge, but
it's still a 2-rune start for Polar because Mag got the top rune and Illidan got the bottom rune.
And look how far Universe has to travel to get to his farm. I mean, he's not getting CS, and Mag is already up to level 2.5, so this is an issue.
It is an issue, honestly. Mag is getting a great start in the safe lane solo as Tidehunter. We should also note the lanes, I guess. It's Illidan, Lil, and FNG in an aggressive tri-lane with Naga. Been a while since we've seen Naga run on an aggressive tri-lane, I feel like. Used to happen all the time. And then, so that's the Shadow Demon and Lina supporting him there. And then it's DK Phobos mid on the Brew and Silo safe Tide versus Void, which is a very classic matchup from the last couple patches.
I think this is a really good matchup for the Tidehunter with Anchor Smash. Universe is going to lose a lot of his damage, and I mean, it's going to be tough for him to CS as well as he would like, but he should still have a somewhat okay time. But again, we saw Mag had a pretty good time last game, and then that turned into him just taking over the game with his Ravages. So
for sure, this VP Polar is really showing why Tidehunter is still a valuable pick, because the movement speed debuff matters, but it's not. Like, it doesn't mean he's not a very, very, very solid laner, especially in a 1v1 situation against a melee hero.
Well, this is an interesting start.
Brew's getting trashed.
This is going to happen every time you have a Razor, though.
Yeah,
and almost instead of any hero. So, bottom lane, though, they will pick up PPD, gets caught out of position. They can't follow up with any other hero. Fear has to back away. Illidan looking to Riptide again, but it's on cooldown for another couple of moments, and a good start in this bottom lane so far for Polar, despite them not getting the most farm in the world. Lil is looking for an initiation. Zai has to back up. He does have Voodoo Restoration. Illidan running in. He has Ensnare. Rather, no, he has Riptide. Gale onto Lil. He's in trouble. The right-click Light Strike Array hits onto 2. There's the Dragon Slave, and he gets denied again! Oh my god, FNG, are you serious? Gosh, this guy is on fire!
Gale is really costing them here. Gale, of course, there aren't that many abilities that actually let you deny in this game, but Gale is one of them, and it's really cost them a lot in this lane, honestly.
This might not seem like much to some of the higher tier players out there, but for me, it's the fact that he got it twice in a row is impressive. So.
Well, it's also it's regardless of how hard it is, it's very consequential because you're not giving away a Passel of Assist Golden XP to a tri lane when you're trying try versus try. That it's actually extremely important.
Regardless, Illidan's still getting some decent farm at 5
not
less.
Great,
well, maybe not. Maybe not so much.
In this game, the Naga can start a little slow and still be okay, I think. But yeah, they are going to want to eventually either take over the lane or have the SD roam.
Mag and Universe in the top lane going toe-to-toe, and more Anchor Smashes going. 22 assets for Mag. I'm not surprised that he got so much farm. Arteezy salving up. He's level 5, level 2 Static Link, level 2 Plasma Field, gets 1 point in the Unstable Current. You talked about Illidan. He can get off to a slow start and still be okay. He's going to get cast again. Third time's the charm, maybe. Disruption comes in. Cast does bounce to Lil. Illidan still should be fine, and I don't see them getting a kill off the back end of this. And even if they had gotten one, it probably gets denied anyways, so...
Yeah. Well, they did push. I believe the Naga has to go back now because they don't have enough regen to sustain this lane anymore. So that's important. It's only a level 3 Naga, so I think it's good overall.
Mag and Phobos are going to have to do a lot of work to get this Naga some room to farm because as it stands now, with what? She actually got up to 10 last hit. She was at 4 a second ago, so it's better than she had, but still she's in some trouble. Mag does get to kill top lane as I missed it completely. Universe getting called out. He popped Ravage, and I should have kept my eye on that lane.
Exactly. You always have to watch around because keep in mind, as you mentioned early on, Universe participated in that wacky first blood. Actually, Witch Doctor's going to die. Maybe. Maybe
healing up, and Illidan wants this Riptide, and he might get it. PPD is going to get chased down, and they're looking for Fear now. This could be the hero they're looking for, and Cask's going to go in, and it actually stops the aggression. FNG, one more right click, they finally get a kill, and he can't deny it. And Universe TP's bottom, he gets a bash, no. Mirror images, they missed the Gale, I believe. Illidan's still in some trouble. Lil got the kill with the Dragon Slave onto Fear, and they cannot pick up this kill on Illidan. They missed the Gale.
Wow.
Oh, what a disaster.
Snipe from that Lina. I mean, that's the long Dragon Slave. Oh, actually, he's probably dead.
Roche?
Maybe he can Roche?
Roche, no, please! No. Universe gets another one.
No. That's good, because if Universe didn't get any kills while rotating, that would have been an absolute disaster. And luckily, they have brought Fear top to get some XP, which is good. But yeah,
and this is a bit better
because
than
he had
going
a full level on Universe, he could just dominate, and especially once he gets the Ravage, it's almost a free kill.
Gale goes onto Mag. He should be fine for the most part. He has Kraken Shell to work with anyways. Gonna get another quick blink dagger, man. Maybe even faster than the first game, which was pretty fast to begin with. So
yeah, should be no problem. Brew, on the other hand, is going to be a very slow blink.
Phobos backing up, getting to the tower. Will and FNG rotating through. RTZ getting split on, and he is, I think, dead. Cass comes in and actually helps out a bit, but RTZ actually had an Invis rune. Zai might die, but it doesn't matter at this point. That's probably a better trade. Well, I mean, it's not a trade. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't get RTZ there for Virtus.pro Polar.
Yeah, definitely. They would have really loved to get RTZ. That was the point of the rotation. Actually, I think RTZ probably gets the kill here. This was a mistake.
The right clicks are actually ridiculous, but no, he can't. He lost the static link damage at the end of that, and he's forced to back away from the towers. He dove it too far.
Very good for Polar then. Just to shore up that middle lane situation is important at this phase.
They are wrapping down on bottom. They have no idea this is coming. Zai is going to get caught out first. It looks like Disruption's going to come in. Soul Catcher, Light Strike Ray. How much damage will this do? Half of his health. And he'll stick up, and he does get the cask off, but he's dead regardless.
The thing is, this Lina SD combo, Soul Catcher is a percentage buff to all your outgoing damage, and Lina is doing more damage than ever before right now. So it's just a very potent combination.
Something they have to avoid. I mean, it really just comes down to positioning from Evil Geniuses. They're just getting caught out. And as it stands now, as good as that first couple of engagements would have been for Evil Geniuses, they, again, are starting to slow down and let Virtus.pro Polar control the pace of the game, as Mag is very close to his Blink Dagger.
But to be fair, I think EG are, by no means, this isn't like a dire situation by any sense of the imagination. They still have very good heroes, very solid all-around play. They have good combos with Chronosphere. They have Arteezy, Razor is farming well, not overwhelming, but very well. And so I think EG still has a solid 5-man, solid combos. Probably get a free Brew here, maybe not.
Yeah, Brew's too quick, and then the clap obviously slows him down enough to make sure he survives. And Arteezy he can't buy a kill right now, unfortunately. he is that upset. And of course, Arteezy, only the way he can, he's wearing a genuine golden serving crest with his autograph. It's his autograph, by the way.
I mean, it's legit to wear something that's autographed by yourself. I think that's badass, but I do hate the model.
Badass. Don't give him any ideas, man. Seriously, don't.
Oh, whatever. He's feeling himself, like you said.
Nice. Arteezy feels himself too much. He feels himself a little bit too much, let's be honest here. Mag, Ravage top lane onto 2. Fear was not expecting this. Light Strike Rate, goodbye, Zai. Stick up. Chronosphere is going to go, though. Can they get the kill on Mag? He's so damn tanky. Yes, Plasma Field. Nice. Arteezy does get involved. Big kill. Now Lil getting caught out. Light Strike Ray misses. That's the issue. It's not a complete stun, and that's a double kill for Artor. That's about as good as it's going to get for him finally getting involved.
Very important. That'll really springboard the Razor past the Brew in a way that is meaningful. Yeah, good play by EG. Obviously, they would have liked to do it without a death, but I think they sort of baked in the
Illidan has to pop this regen rune here right now, or he is. Oh, actually, he's fine. They can't chase him down. Okay, I spoke too soon. He's fine. He's okay.
Tower is under attack.
And he's gonna pop it regardless.
And he has been farming. He's almost caught up to Universe's. So here's the other thing. Net sets this up too. Although it is actually. Okay, they're just gonna wait out the shallow grave.
They do have TPs coming in. One of them being from Fear.
This could be bad.
Light Strike Array, Voodoo Restoration, not gonna save his life. Zai is having a rough game, man. He's 4 deaths to his name.
Well,
PPD
Witch Doctor
1,
is. Witch Doctor is amazing at countering lineups that deal like a slow drip of damage, because then he just wins on mana, right? The real way Witch Doctor beats you in a tri-lane is that his heal is so efficient, and if your damage isn't like getting kills every time, it's nullified completely, and he just wins. Yeah. But in this case, all the damage comes in like very brief bursts, and the heal isn't going to do anything because it's not going to prevent him dying or anybody else dying.
I mean, the sticks are helping, but it's not that much, so... I think at this point you're absolutely right. They have to find a way to withstand all of the nuke damage and nuke pressure coming out, but it's very difficult because nobody's really farmed, especially the supports. And now it's a 10-minute Blink Dagger done again for Mag, so Virtus.pro Polar are in a position where they are very close to being able to take the second game with a couple of good Ravages. Although, again, it's very far off. But
yeah, I think it's possible, but I wouldn't call it very far off 50-50 right now. I think both teams are developing, they're farming. There's no meaningful map control for either team. Not even a single tower is down. Towers have barely been damaged this game, in fact.
Yeah, RTV does pick up, obviously, Treads Bracer and a Wraith Band. He usually likes to pick up Ags just immediately after he gets his Treads, but that seems to be not the case anymore, as this build has somewhat unusual. He does have 2 kills. His CS is 3rd in the game behind Universe's Faces Void, who's caught up very well.
I think a PB would be very good, actually, because if they do target him, that way he won't die in the initial combo, and he can either walk away or counter.
Yeah, it could be good. I agree. 50 last hits, 15 denies. Plasma Field, DK Phobos hasn't been as involved as he was in the previous game with his split, but I don't know if they really need it. They've gotten so many kills without it that... Blink Ravage, RTZ does get hit up with it. It's at the very tail end, and they will split up as well. PPD coming in. Graves got to be used, and it will. That'll keep him alive, but they will die for this. RTZ is going to try to TP away. Boulder Toss, Cyclone. He lives! He lives! What a TP. They didn't have anything to use there. Light Strike Array, PPD might not be so lucky. Now they jump in. Chronosphere from Universe. They don't catch on DK Phobos, but they will get Mag, it looks like, as the time lock procs go in. And that is Universe. He's got his Mask Madness. He's going toe-to-toe. Gets the double kill. DK Phobos luckily had it in this rune, and Sahil O'Neal does it again with a big dunks.
Yeah, that's Dazzle for you, right? He count this lineup that relies on killing somebody instantaneously. That first pick Dazzle makes it so difficult because you straight up cannot do it because he'll just grave your target. So a very unfortunate fight for EP Polar. They use a Ravage, they use a Split, they get nothing, they lose 2 people and those long ultimate cooldowns. That is very, very, very bad, of course. But luckily Brew gets away and makes Blink, but Artur, he can't chase, but even so he pushes the Naga out of lane.
PVD's been on point, man, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
this guy
he really has.
He's been hitting almost every single grave. I thought for sure RTZ was going to die before he was able to get that grave off, but...
yeah, I guess they didn't have Boulder. Is that what happened? I wasn't.
It must have been, or Cyclone for that matter.
Well, they didn't have Cyclone because they had Cycloned the Veno or something.
Yeah. RTZ is in a rough spot. Light Strike Array. He's very tanky, but he's not this tanky. TP, good try. There's the Death Ward coming out. It does a lot of damage. Disruption also saves his life, and Zai actually has to back away. Zai just throws it up casually, and
unfortunately, Zai's role in this game is somewhat peripheral. Not because he's not an amazing player. Just unlike Dazzle, the Witch Doctor just doesn't do much here.
Are they gonna just dive him and kill him? I think he's actually just dead.
They should be careful because the Naga really is low. I mean, they can get the kill, but at what cost?
Well,
no cost.
At no cost so far. At the cost of maybe a tier 1 tower, not even that. They get the tier 1 mid, I guess, but... I mean, that's just... I guess evil geniuses were like, we just can't help you. You're on your own. That's sorry, boys.
Their vision is very good, but not on that side of the map, and there was no real point in fighting that when they didn't know they could win.
Look at the net worth right now. They're jostling back and forth between some of these heroes, and Naga's now up there. 2,000 gold for Illidan.
The Void's doing very well. He's 4-1-2, and he's got a Mask of Madness and a Maelstrom. And I think Void is one of Universe's, in my opinion, it's one of his best heroes.
Oh, it absolutely is. He's played this so often. He plays it in pubs as well, and we have only IX Mike to thank for Universe on this Faceless Void.
That's true. He did invent it. I still wish people did Mike's original offlane pub
what was
Void
like the
build.
SNY thing, something?
It was Necro 3 SNY or something like that.
Oh, Fear. That's embarrassing, buddy. I think you're dead. Light Strike Array, Laguna Blade, they threw a lot. He's not even dead yet.
The Soul Catcher was so late.
Chronosphere catches on it too for Universe. The Cask Zai pops the ward, and they disrupt him, and actually Phobos is able to split. What a split coming out. What a disruption coming out as well from the Shadow Demon as well. They're going to static link the...
careful, though.
The Earth Panda needs to...
He could die.
If it gets bashed here, he is in trouble. With a capital T. Ravage, yeah, they do. Okay, they're going back in. They still need to be careful. Time walking, they still might lose Phobos here. Good try from Mag, but honestly, how much is it going to actually do here? Is Mag going to die is the question. Last field, earn charge, RTZ. Oh, they get the poison touch as well. Static Link and Mag, I think you are dead, buddy.
He is.
Hadouken, but no such luck. Sai gets the kill. 2
Ravages that have done nothing, which is very unfortunate because they need the Ravages to generate a ton of additional space for Naga to farm because they started so behind. Not great. I mean, EG's has a good lineup to extend the fights long enough that the Void can enter and throw out a giant counter engagement, and that's exactly what Universe loves to do. He loves to counter engage rather than like he doesn't love to be like charging way ahead of his team and wondering if they're going to back him up. What he likes to do is see Artur or somebody like that or Fear in trouble and then jump in and counter engage. And that's I think most of the really great Universe Chronospheres are in situations like that.
Dude's a lifesaver, man.
Yeah.
He should be a lifeguard. The guy can jump it at will.
You should tell him that.
Sahil O'Neal, starring in Baywatch. This guy is quite good. Easy heading down bottom with the Ogre Club now. Universe does have his Maelstrom, like you talked about, and he'll take over this game if he's given the room to do so. But the Naga, Illidan, so far standard build, no real crazy item or skill build for Illidan, surprisingly enough, and he'll continue on his path towards his Radiance, which will probably be done in about 18 minutes, maybe 19.
His Naga has always been fairly middle of the road in terms of the approach he takes to it. It's fun. I mean, he's gonna go Radiance, so I think that's appropriate for this game.
Yeah. Well,
at least he levels net.
The 20,000 viewers watching on Twitch TV for Dota Pit, thank you so much for joining us here. Game number 3, as you can see, it's tied 1-1 currently between these two squads. Game number 2 was a disaster for Evil Geniuses. Game number 1 was a disaster for Virtus.pro Polar, and so far it's looking to be an even game number 3. Although,
still, even though those were two very poor fights for Polar, I don't think they're out of contention by any means.
No, they have a Naga, man. That's
they sure do. Interesting that Lil has opted to max the Slave. That's I'm surprised. I was kind of expecting 1-4-1, but
he's gonna go
this is the damage approach, right? This max Slave does 320 damage, whereas a maxed LSA only does 240. I think the idea is also if they catch somebody and Dazzle isn't quite in grave range, they're much more likely to actually kill them with the Slave combo before the Dazzle comes to grave. This extra stun almost doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. The Slave scales better. It goes up from 110 to 320, whereas the max, I mean, from 120 to 240 for LSA is not as good in terms of damage. It's more so the stun duration than anything else. And it also increases in mana cost as well.
Right. They really moved these abilities. They used to be almost interchangeable in terms of what you got for scaling. So one thing that they've been doing in these patches is differentiating abilities that were like a super toss-up to scale so that it's a meaningful choice between the two of them. And that's one thing that they did with Lina, where it kind of mattered, but not really, like 2 patches ago. And now, like, you go LSA in some situations and Slave in some situations, which is, I feel like, how it should be.
Well, as of right now, PBD has disconnected. We just can't get through a game without some sort of disconnection.
No, I really can't.
Hoping that it wasn't going to be a long one. I hope he was going to get back in, but it seems like at least one player every game is getting disconnected and staying disconnected for at least 10 to 15 minutes of the game. We might have to play 4 versus 5 again.
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't know what the PPD thing is.
Obviously, it could be anything.
I don't know. He switched to bought too much power, and as we know, when that happens, your PC can't be used.
Well, hopefully it is actually. I'm actually okay if it's a PC issue because he has another PC he can play on.
Right.
If it's an internet issue, then there's nothing we can do.
Right.
It feels like so.
So Fear is level 10. He doesn't quite. He's actually only at the very, very beginning of level 10, which is interesting. He's a slight bit behind the curve of where he would want to be, I feel like. But he was the tri-lane carry, as was the Naga on the other team was also 10, so it's fine. But Venomancer really wants those levels in his ultimate. They're very, very consequential. They lower the cooldown, they increase the upfront damage and the duration, I think. So it's crazy how much it does.
Well, all right. What would you give EG's chances in this game of taking this?
Better than even 60, 65.
All right.
Because the Naga's not going to have the fastest Radiance in the world, and obviously even after Radiance, she's not that, not potent for a while after that. They've taken no towers before the Naga Radiance, so she's going to have a ton to chew through if she decides to go the split pushing route. And the Lina SD, when you run a combo like this, you're really counting on getting a lot of kills in the early game and getting a kill advantage, and they're at a kill disadvantage. Lina as a support definitely tapers off. SD as a support tapers off extremely. Ags is worthwhile, but I don't know that Ags will do that much this game. His ult will be very useful. It's good to ult Void inside his own chrono. It's good to
just backtrack it, dude. Yeah. That's all you have to do.
That's damn true. That is damn true.
Backtrack the good old Lagooner.
Basically, they need these. They have this Tide and Brew. So the idea here is this team comp is divided into 3 stages of effectiveness. In the first stage, the Lina and SD are very dominant, and I think even though they didn't dominate, they did very well. They did their job. In the mid game, the Tide and Brew are supposed to generate really, really favorable team trades, like 2 for 4 or something, which gives the Naga space in the late game to be an unanswerable threat. And right now, the mid game didn't happen at all. Their ravages have just not been good. I mean, they got a solo kill, but
The Ravage, it's not been nearly as big of a factor, and you've talked about this, and it's not like if they had made more space and maybe if Naga can come in and take some of these fights and actually get a couple of the kills, then she has her relic by now, but that's not the case, so.
Yeah, and it's scary. It's very scary for a Naga to join fights like that at this stage in the game, because what if you get chronoed? Even like Veno ult is basically going to take you down, not to mention Razor. Like, she can't do anything to any of those heroes, really. She can kill a Veno, but that's about it.
I'm getting word from Charlie Monolith Yang that PPD's internet has gone out, and that he's restarting, and we're doing all that we can to hopefully get him back in the game. Okay. As far as how long we have to wait before we play again, it is 7 minutes, so we sit back and we relax, and hopefully everything sorts itself out here in just a moment. And
I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be back in a moment.
All right, I'll sit here and I'll stay, and I'll ramble on to the audience, and hopefully that.
Sorry, Travis.
It's okay. Go
I'll be
for
back
it, dude.
soon.
So, chat. I know you want to riot. There's nothing we could do. It's just unfortunate. Modpack, stop reconnecting. You make me think that it's PPD. You have the same color name. Stop it. Damn it. It's worth noting that PPD's internet is pretty good. It's really just an unfortunate situation. You don't want to use that word, that terminology, but it is taking him some time, hopefully, and we can get him back in the game. And as it stands now, they will have to play 4 versus 5 rather soon. So PPD needs to get back in, and again, it's a lot like the last game where it's not easy to micro an IO and a Slark at the same time. And I think with a Dazzle, it's the same thing. It's the same concept.
At least with IO and Slark, you know that they probably should be in the same place at the same time 90% of the time, right? So it's easier than with heroes that might be in different lanes or doing different objectives. Can you re-add Modpax to the Skype call? He got kicked or something by accident.
What a good program this is.
What? Thank you, based random Finnish dudes and Microsoft.
We're using Mumble next time.
We can. I have Mumble.
I'm gonna send you the information.
Okay. You want to just switch for next game?
Yeah. We can even switch if the pause is long enough. Hold on.
Maybe. Just although I don't know if it's installed on the Surface Pro 2.
All right, we'll check it out. Make sure, get it ready, and I will send you the information now.
All right.
Okay, that's that.
No, I do have it installed, so I'm
that's
good
that. And yeah. Do you just want to switch now?
Yeah, I think we can.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and do that quickly. Connected. Excellent. We're back in. We are waiting still currently. No updates about PPD's issue. I believe we have about 3 to 4 minutes before we have to play again. So it's really unfortunate these things have happened, but what are you going to do? Somebody really wants their rares, apparently. Despicable. It's honestly the most frustrating thing in the world. Still working on the mobile thing, hold on. Chad, how the hell are you? Hope you're doing well. Oh my god, mod packs are freaking killing me! Please. Please.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. You sound better.
Okay. I mean,
PPD's back. We made
quality.
it. We did it, guys.
We did it.
We did it.
I'm just trying to figure out if I push to talk on or not. Looks like no.
Go ahead and figure out whatever you need to figure out.
I think I'm good.
All right. Well, we're going to get back underway then here in just a second. Modpax has joined us back at the call on Skype, and we're going to get underway in a moment, so...
I think Modpax is in Mumble now, too. So
yes.
We're all set.
Here we go. 16 minutes into the game, what happened? They're about to take this tier 1 tower, potentially bottom. Arteezy is here. Top lane engagement on Defeer. Riptide, Poison Nova goes. It's going to connect onto a couple of heroes, but Fear is going to die. He does buy his Ogre Club, so that is nice. He's not dead yet, actually.
There's no way he lives.
I don't think he survives this.
And if this was a level 2...
Oh, Universe is coming up. He wants to chrono this.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this could be a
chrono. He's going to get it onto both, and Phobos cannot split in time, and he leaves. He knows he doesn't want to get split on, so he gets an easy kill on Illidan, which is huge, by the way, because that stops him from farming. It's more than worth it. Bottom lane, they are going to get the tier 1 tower, it looks like. Light Strike away. Laguna Blade Zai's dead. They throw everything onto him, and they get the kill.
And for what it's worth, they did not have to use Ravage, so they still have the Ravage and the split available, which is important. Universe is going to get out. Good time walk. He almost didn't have enough mana for time walk. I think he must have tread switched to get it, which is good.
I honestly think Universe could have baited that primal split and been okay, I think.
Maybe, I guess. It's a little questionable.
It would have been difficult to be sure. Well, they will TP back up top. They're going to jump in. Fear might get split on. Fear, you were just here, man. Demonic Purge, Soul Catcher.
This is I've made a huge mistake moment.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to dive past the tower, Cyclone onto PPD, and they'll try to get the kill on him.
I mean, they know there's no chrono, I think, which is why... Well, actually, they're really indecisive right now. They should
Phobos is way too deep. Phobos is going to get jumped on here. Universe, buddy.
He's going to get time.
Oh, there's no mana. Oh, my gosh, and Phobos actually gets away.
Even so, if I'm Phobos there, I'm saying team on voice comm in a Russian accent with a question mark at the end.
Team? Team?
Где team?
That's right. You speak a little bit of Russian, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
No.
So I think overall, obviously, that's good. They get Fear, but Universe is still a very unanswered question on the map right now, right?
He's
because
a force
he's
6 and
1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult. So at this point, not the easiest thing in the world coming out right now for Virtus.pro Polar. You have obviously Nagasan farming away. Ring of Aquila, almost 3.8k gold. She will have the relic soon, and it's going well. But again, you talked about Universe, still a big issue.
Yeah, and Arteezy is a significant issue as well. Now he has BKB. BKB is really going to nullify a tremendous amount of what Polar can throw out of the Disruption, the Ravage, everything Brewmaster does, and everything Lina does, until and unless she gets Aghanim Scepter, which will take a very, 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 very long time.
Not very close.
No, and the other thing about BKB is, if you mash the hell out of it, you'll almost certainly get it off coming out of the Disruption before the Light Strike hits. So.
Chrono onto DK Phobos. They have a lot of damage, and he is not getting his split off, nor did he have it. Big kill again for Universe, and it feels like Universe isn't getting supports with these pickoffs. He's finding big critical kills for a lot of the time.
Especially the Naga kill with the last Chrono. But just the fact that every single Chrono is getting him at least 1 and sometimes more kills is like, well, Void took over the game, boys.
Top lane, they do catch out one. Arteezy's going to come back in and try to contest it, but they've already left. As Lil and FAG combine it to get the kill using Laguna to get Blade again. Zai has 7 deaths to his name at 20 minutes in. He is by far and away your death leader currently in this game of Dota, and it's just that frustrating.
It's inevitable. I mean, it's not a fun game if you're Zai, and maybe you yell at Peter for giving you a hero who doesn't do anything in this game, but like, it's really, really inevitable, and it's fine. Having half your deaths on one hero who's the least important for your strategy is fine.
Lil will TP. He canceled his TP! He canceled his TP! Lil is dead. And they're going to jump in. Nag's looking for a Ravage. He's going to pop it off. Universe in trouble. He is going to fall. The Mask of Madness killed him. He couldn't get out in time. Big rotation. That's huge for this Pro Polar as the Ravage comes in.
Is up. Is done. They got the lift. Sleep is useless, but that's fine because they're still going to kill him.
Arteezy. No BKB.
Or no.
Zai comes back in. They ensnare him up. They're going to try to clear the creep wave. And Arteezy gets gushed up as well. Demonic Purge does some damage. That static link does nothing. You're too far away, friend. Illidan has enough money for Radiance, by the way. He's not buying it yet. He probably should.
The demonic purge slowed the Shadow Demon for so long from the unstable current that he died to creeps. It was an unstable current kill.
That's rather unfortunate.
I mean, the good thing is Naga got streak break gold on Void. That's huge
and that
because it
provided
really
him the Radiance.
him.
Yeah. It is 21-minute Radiance. It's not necessarily the fastest timing for Illidan Storm Rage. And
but it's not that slow, yeah.
Yeah, but the way that this game is going, it doesn't really matter. I feel like because Universe is just going to keep finding Illidan in the jungle. He's going to keep chronosphering him, and unless they can find a way to stop Universe, then that's going to be an issue. And especially the Universe getting a BKB is going to be huge.
For sure. I definitely agree. It is not going to be easy to get 5 outer towers to start threatening all the Rexes as Naga when you're up against a Void that you have no vision against, who's 2 levels up on you.
Fear has been shut down so much as well coming on this Venomancer. It's just been... It's one of those rare instances where Fear doesn't have a really great game, I feel like.
But that's Veno life sometimes, and you pick a Veno in situations like this when you know that he'll, like... Yes, you're going to have people die. They're running a Shadow Demon Lina Brew composition. They will kill people. It's best for them to kill heroes that are still going to be useful after they die, and Veno is the prototype of that hero.
Yeah. So... Venomancer is only 500 gold away from his Agonite Scepter, and then he becomes a lot more useful.
For sure.
I like once he gets that ult off, it doesn't matter because I don't think any of these heroes are out leveling him enough where they can just kind of sit and take the damage and be okay with it. It's not going to be that simple.
I agree, and they have no mech, no pipe, no real hope of getting either soon. I mean, Tidehunter is going straight for Refresher. No, he's not getting a mech. Naga's not going to make it. Like, Lina's probably not. SD maybe, but he's nowhere near it. Like, they don't really have a lot of answers to the Aghanim's Veno ultimate, and that's like only one of the many things that they have to answer from the CG comp.
You're looking at I have the Storm, especially with Ag Scepter. BKB is now done on RTZ, and the Chronosphere, obviously. We talk so much about Universe. For Virtus.pro Polar, though, I mean, they do still have the Naga Radiance, the Boots of Travel. You have, I think, an Ag Scepter being built for DK Phobos, which is not that great because they are building BKBs this game. So.
Well, that is blast from the past. This Eggs brew build. It's very uncommon these days, but I mean, what is he gonna build though, right? Sheep? AC does very little this game. So very little of their damage is physical. Almost none, in fact.
Phobos, is he dead? Yep. That's
sure
another big kill.
I really don't know what you do make as Brew to have a big impact.
I think AC is not that bad this game. At least it helps you get armor and stay alive. That song comes in.
Okay, fine. Against Razor, Witch Doctor, Void, the armor aura is very significant. So yeah, maybe you should have done AC.
BKB pops up for Universe. He doesn't want to get caught. He just wants FNG. The Demonic Purge goes still. I mean, that's the problem. Is FNG going to deny himself here?
He's going to try, but it's almost impossible.
Those Satyrs do no damage, man. That's optimistic at the very best.
Yeah. Worth a try, but unlikely.
Yeah, regardless, they do force out the BKB coming from Universe. That means they can't really push into this tier 2 tower safely, especially with Chrono down. It's down for another 70 seconds or so. That obviously that new cooldown coming into effect. Maelstrom BKB, Mask of Madness, maybe a Mjolnir is next for him. He needs to keep pace. He's got to get another item for this Faceless Void. Otherwise, he's going to get... I mean, Illidan is farming quite quickly, and he's already up to about the same net worth as Universe is, so...
That's very true, but a lot of that net worth is tied up in items that are like travels and radiance. Great items and help you farm more, certainly in split push, but in a stand-up fight, they're not gonna be.
Zach, I'm gonna make an executive decision here. We're going back to Skype, buddy.
Really? Is this work?
It's not working out. It's just not working. We'll have to try it another time, my friend.
I'm sorry. You sound great. You sound beautiful.
Alas, it's not the same on the other side of the thing, so...
I'm really sorry.
That's okay. No worries. We're going to go right back to Skype, so here we go.
Alright.
Alright. Well, they're going to go for Roshan if you look at it for Virtus.pro Polar side. This is a really great decision to make. And they're going to get it quick. They're not the fastest Roche team, that's the thing. But the thing is that nobody knows this is happening from Evil Genius' side. Vic, are you with me?
I am.
Excellent. See, you actually sound better here.
That's wild.
I know, it's crazy. It's this new world. Honestly, I think the audio for Mumble makes it sound so much clearer that there's a lot of things you could hear in the background, so including your fridge, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
And there's also a lot of clicking going on. I'm not sure what was the deal with that, but
I'm not clicking anything. That's wild.
Well, regardless, we'll use what works.
Yep.
Axe is finished up for the Razor, by the way, and Universe is going to go Refresher. He picks up the Ultimate Orb, or the Oblivion Staff, excuse me.
That's an I mean, the fact is that the increased cooldown does mean that your rate of being able to, you know, like win compelling team fights, it does go down. So maybe going Refresher makes sense in that context. Like, you get double chronos at the same rate, which is like obviously better and lets you be more convincing in fights. It isn't damage though. I really thought it'd go more damage, but Arteezy's farming very well. They have the Veno, Aghanims. They probably feel like they already have all the damage they need to win fights. Now it's just a matter of control and utility.
Yeah, I think and making sure that the double chrono means that Illidan probably doesn't get his song off, and they're going to back away. The Aghanims, or rather the Aegis, is up for the Nagasaran, so Arteezy will clear out the creep wave. They will send the Illusions up to the high ground. There's still smoke behind them. The Chronosphere is going to go Disruption now onto FNG. Universe is songed up as well. The Gale's going to go through. They might poison over this. Universe is kind of alone here. Pops the BKB. Demonic Purge goes. Doesn't do anything. Arteezy pops the BKB as well. It's time to hightail it out of here if you're Virtus.pro Polar. They forced 2 BKBs for only 1 Shadow Demon. They're going to force that further. Mag wants to blink Ravage here, but he has Plague Wards on him. They're kind of baiting this from Evil Geniuses. They'll throw up another Plague Ward, and I think that's going to be the end of the engagement. Good song coming out.
If I'm EG, there's no way in hell I fight here. Like, well, maybe they'll have to?
Well, they force out the Ravage for 2 heroes. Fear and Zai, both one of them. Poison up it goes, and Fear does get... Oh, there's going to be... Lil is in trouble. He's got to use the Light Strike away. He just uses the Laguna Blade, and he's dead. They at least get 1 kill out of this, and that's huge. And that's a kill that shouldn't happen. Illidan taking a lot of damage from this Poison Nova. He will have to go back home more than likely. He's got to be careful. He will pick up the Haste Rune first and foremost.
Yeah, no Shadow Demon to do the initiating disable onto Fear after... Well, I guess actually they had the Ravage, but they didn't quite sync their... They didn't have enough disable to prevent it from Poison Novaing, which totally... You know, 1v1 for Ravage again. That's not what you want from Ravage.
Yeah, Ravage down. It is time to push and maybe get a Chronosphere on DK Phobos, and hopefully you can maybe take him down before he gets his split off. And obviously, up in 13 seconds is going to be that Chronosphere. Arteezy is going to take the tier 2 tower without any cause or concern for Virtus.pro Polar. He just moves up to the top lane as well, and Universe is doing the same thing. And all of a sudden, because they use that solo Ravage there, you know, they don't really get anything for Virtus.pro Polar, and EG gets a bigger lead.
The entire lineup really revolves around gaining equity from Ravage, so when you don't gain equity or even lose equity, you end up losing map control. And now they're in a very, very bad position. They're down 4 towers. Naga hasn't gotten a single tower, actually. The only tower kill on VP Polar side was a deny from Universe on the bottom tier 1. Arteezy is definitely a problem. Arteezy fortified with Weave plus the defensive medallion from PPT is like, just has a crap ton of armor. It means the only way they bring him down is with magic damage. He has BKB. It's still probably 9 seconds?
I think so.
8 seconds, 8 seconds.
Okay.
But still an abundance of time for him to live and deliver damage.
It really comes down to DK Phobos ulting at the right time, and it's an Aghanim split, so he will pump at the most magical damage with the exception of a Laguna Blade, but it's certainly, the clock is ticking, and it feels like it's ticking for Virtus.pro Polar. They need to get this Naga farmed up, and she's going to have to, you know, find a way to be able to take over this game, but that is not easy with how this game is going. It's not. I mean, Arteezy with an Aghanim Scepter, the Refresher is very close to being completed up for Universe, and 31 armor with his ulti and medallion to teammates.
For 1 second, but even so, like, that's just insane.
I mean, these heroes are not going to fall to right clicks. It has to be magic damage, it seems like, so and that's easier said than done. Refresher is about to fly out to Universe here. He's going to send it to the secret shop more than likely in just a couple of moments once he gets the gold for it, but... once he gets Refresher Orb, I think it might be close to game at that point.
It'll be very, very difficult for Polar. I just don't see them winning a team fight unless EG makes tremendous mistakes. And the lineup, as long as you trust your Faceless Void player, is nearly idiot-proof. Like, at this point, with this much of an advantage.
Well, I like how you put it that way. And Universes, I would trust him in any Dota game. There are very few times where I'm like, yeah, Universe could have played that better. It just doesn't happen.
I mean, it's possible, but it's very, very difficult.
And that is a split for Zai, by the way. And Zai still might live. He's going to try to TP out, and he is going to make it. So that's a split for literally nobody. Still long duration coming out. They want to get this kill onto the Broodling, or at least make sure he isn't able to blink away. He blinks away regardless, but still, that's a split that is on cooldown now.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously... The split is a little less important than the Ravage in this game, and it's a lower cooldown, certainly, which is a big deal. But... I don't know. I just think EG has a extremely compelling advantage, more than like graphs or whatever would indicate. I think they're tremendously ahead.
It's a 5,000 net worth lead, but I agree with you completely. I think that all they need to do is play this right, and they can take this game. Plasma Field's got to go through, and Virtus.pro, they've got some defending to do here on the high ground. Phobos is going to walk up front, and Universe is he's posturing himself for at least one Chronosphere, if not two of them. Jump in from Phobos, does hit on RTZ. Attack speed slow going into Universe. He's going to get ensnared up. He just backs away. Zai will Voodoo Restoration and keep them alive as long as possible. Same with the Shadow Wave, so they can siege for literally days. The only issue is that the Tier 2 tower is going to fall bottom, and then that does open up some room for the Naga to start split pushing and pressuring further. So
having access to the high ground is very, very important, because otherwise your split push is so extremely non-threatening. The thing is that EG is ahead enough, just ahead enough, that Illidan has to stay behind on defense. Actually can't really do much split pushing right now.
Mag picked up a refresher at the right time.
Yeah, that is a big deal for sure.
This
51 and 8. That's so funny for refresher void. That is a extremely.
You don't lose often with this item.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, obviously, if you're making a refresher, it means your void has tons of money, so it's a bit of a causation issue. But even so, it's very high. I mean, yeah, it's great that Mag managed to farm that refresher. It'll help if they get a very favorable engagement and they manage to catch EG without their BKBs being active, then yeah. Or if they extend a fight so long that it's after Chrono, and then what's going to happen is the Universe is probably going to BKB Chrono, maybe, and so maybe afterwards you can make something happen. But
I don't expect him to let that Ravage get off for free. And if Tide dies, he has no buyback. Naga has buyback, Lena has buyback, RTZ has buyback, FNG will have buyback. Lena just bought something, actually. And
well, it's fine if you make a big defense and they buy back, or they even don't buy back. That's good enough, because they just need net worth on everybody, basically. Like, they just need to make some good base defenses and stretch out the game. If Polar wins this game, it'll only be on the time scale where net worths and like stuff like that start being not that meaningful, because they're gonna chip away. It's gonna be a very, very chippish victory. Like, ultimates on defense, Naga on offense.
Now, that's something that absolutely could happen, but that's another big item that is huge. Is I picking up the Aghanim Scepter, and that usually when you have a Chronosphere and when you have an Aghanim Scepter up on your Witch Doctor, this is the point in the game where one big fight, especially one big Chronosphere that hits on a couple, means that the game is over.
Did we actually figure out the Witch Doctor ult?
Yeah, but Moppak said if it was outside, it certainly will hit. I believe him. I trust him.
No, that's what I would expect, so that makes perfect sense.
It's a silly question to begin with, but I mean, you have to ask those questions after changes in the patch. Universe is going to lead the way up front here. Illidan is not smoked, rather invis. Universe goes to the high ground, feeling a bit threatened, and Roshan respawns quickly,
he's up.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
This is go time if EG take this.
For sure, they have such dominant vision. I don't think Polar will contest. I don't think they have an option to contest. And yeah, I agree with you. It's go time.
Medallion takes this down so quickly. Universe, will he be the one? It looks like it's RTZ, but again, Eye of the Storm does not persist through death, so just something to keep in mind.
It's still RTZ, I think.
An illusion's gonna come through, they'll kill it quickly. They know now, but by the time they get here...
They've got like 5 seconds.
That is
wow,
a BKB.
BKB!
They want this. The song is coming in. RTZ does pick it up, and Illidan realizes his chance has been missed. Now the song is done. BKB Universe is going to jump in. Chronosphere on to 2. Illidan Storm Edge. There's the Death Ward coming in. The Ravage. There's 1. Is he going to refresh? He has plenty of mana to work with. Phobos jumps in, but now Universe is going to work. Time lock procs for days. Refresher. He 4-stabs with a refresher. Beautifully done. Fear is still low. You can see the Brewlings doing work. Statically coming in. They do take down the Slug, but what else can they get after this? They're going to look for a little... The refresher has not been used. It has been used, but the Universe doesn't have enough mana, and he will get Lil with the bashes regardless. And Phobos is in some trouble as well. He is going to take a fall. The clap comes in, but he's done. No buyback. He's down for 60 seconds, and well, this looks like it's Evil Genius's racks to take.
I don't think they should have tried for the Aegis. I think that was really... I mean, I get their position of we're quite behind and we don't see a way to kill Arteezy, like whoever takes the Aegis twice, which is probably going to be Arteezy, but they just had almost no chance. And EG responded exactly correct because of their superior vision. They knew the exact time to BKB to stop the sleep and make sure they still got the Aegis and then turn it around. I do like the refresher force staff play from Mag. That's like, well, we lost the game, but I really want to be in a Noob from UA YouTube video this week, so I'm just going to make this play.
That was a sick play. Blink Ravage coming in. Universe BKBs at the most opportune time, which allows him to complete the range racks, and the melee racks is getting forced down. And Snare up on Universe, he doesn't seem to mind. Chronosphere goes, so they can't actually take him down. Song of the Siren flying. They really, really want this melee rack, so they can't get it. Static Link still going. Universe has to back away. BKB for Arteezy. The Death Ward comes out from Zai. Good usage of that Manta style. Illidan will get away in time. They do take down one racks. Arteezy does get FMD. There's the racks going through, rather, excuse me, the Aegis. FNG did dive for it, however, and Arteezy's going to get stunned up with a Light Strike Array. There's the split coming out from the Panda. And he's going to throw the Boulder Toss right into the back of Arteezy's head. Static Link going, and he is probably going to die here. It's very low, and PPD can't use his grave. He's up in the air with the Cyclone. Mag is low, and here comes Universe back in again. Light Strike Array is going through another Cyclone. Fear wants this kill, and he's going to find it. Looking a little as well in the back end. Brew Master Split is now done. DK Phobos is able to blink away. Universe has time walking one, trying to get around the creeps, but instead of going for it, they're going to back away and say that's enough. We've accomplished our mission. We've taken out a lot of heroes, including Illidan, who's, by the way, died again. Yeah, all the while, there's a lot of farm for bottom for Universe.
Taking the racks and killing Illidan is all you want. It's fine to lose multiple heroes for it, and they do, but it's very, very, very worth.
Goodbye, Fear.
Even this is worth. This is fine.
That was an awkward Yule Scepter. Goodbye, regardless. He does pick up a Blink Dagger before he dies, so that's good.
Yeah, he sure does. That's huge, I think, actually. Because it again gives them the ability to position their fights and their combinations perfectly. And look at the forward warding from EG as well, with the Veno wards and the 2 Observer wards on both sides of the dead racks. They will always know exactly what's happening on their side of the map. And also they'll know who's back in base and who's not. That's also important.
Yeah, they see Lil currently, obviously with the creep wave more than anything else, but I mean, at this point, the only thing stopping EG from taking this game is they tier 2 bottom it, and they need to pick that up rather soon. Gem's picked up for Tidehunter. He'll actually be able to counter ward now, so much for those double wards, as the gem is flying out on the courier, I believe. It should be going to Mag, or maybe it's going to FNG. If it's going to FNG, then they actually missed these wards, but they will be back in the base eventually, so. Somebody just picked up an item, too. I'm gonna edge up for Universe. Somebody picked up something else. Am I crazy? Oh, Assault Cross for Arteezy. That was the item.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was going to go into, AC or Shiva's, but I think AC makes a lot more sense this game, so it's very smart.
They've had some tough time killing buildings. It's not as easy as they would maybe like it to be, and now with the Assault Cross, it certainly will be easy, so.
It'll be much, much easier. Brew, I think probably AC as well, maybe. I guess Shiva's is compelling for him as well. But.
Assault Cross might not be bad at this point. I mean, it's like an arms race. Greg and I have talked about this a lot, but once one person gets an AC, the other team is almost compelled to do so.
Yeah.
MKB for Universe. That's yeah. It's been a while. I mean, obviously against the Brewmaster, it's the best situation. And Universe gets in. He's got a lot of damage, man.
Ticking down, I think it's very good against the continued Drunken Haze, because Brew, of course, because he does have Ags, he can throw out Drunken Hazes from the the Wind Spirit during split.
Important to note that this doesn't work on buildings, so if he Drunken Hazes him, the AKB will not work on buildings.
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually annoying. It was an issue a long time ago for Quake when he was playing Medusa, but
Ag wants some plays. Can they make anything happen, though? It's going to be tough. Both teams with all their ults up. I favor EG's ults, but Polar's ults are, of course, pretty legitimate as well.
I mean, Universe is sitting on the side as well, so it just comes down to who makes the quick first play.
Up. Takes a little bit of chip damage.
FNG popping up his Shadow Poison. He's going to get galed up, and Disruption goes in. Mask of Madness. Chronosphere on it, too. They might have to Ravage. Universe pops the BKB, though. He wants Illidan. Another Chronosphere is going to go. The Ravage does not connect. Lil is in trouble on the backside. Mag Yeah, he's in some trouble. 4 step away, 3 down, and DK, Phobos, and Mag are herded into their base like sheep to the slaughter. In fact, they will be slaughtered. Mag's dead. They will get the split off, but RTZ and Universe will try to clean this up as quickly as possible and move on to the Raxes. And it looks like Game 3 on Luxembourg will head Evil Genius's way, and they will be 1 win away from securing themselves a spot in the grand finals against either Secret or Virtus.pro. It's not done yet. They still have another game to win, but a big victory here in game number 3.
It's a very important win for sure. Naga, no buyback here, so it's I don't think there's any way. There's no tier 2 up top. Should be a pretty trivial matter of EG mopping up the base. Yeah, Polar, good early game, weak mid game there really spelled doom for them, because if you have a weak mid game against a Void that you don't shut down, Void is going to be, in that mid to late transition, Void is going to be very dominant. And Universe followed through on that extremely well. 14-2 is his score, so clearly this Void was not dealt with by anything Polar.
The 1 position faces Void. The 3 position to the 1 position faces Void for Universe. Just another day at the office for Sahil, so not a big shocker that he was able to carry this game. Mag made some mistakes early on in the game. You talked about his Ravages, his solo Ravages, and I think that was an issue. But they are going to clean up the rest of these heroes inside of the base. Illidan has respawned, but at this point their Mega Creep's now up and ready to go. And if GG isn't going to get called, then I imagine they'll be able to take,
it is
Mag
Polar.
refreshing.
It is Polar. They're not going to GG unless they give it the old college try, but...
Well, the old college try means Illidan's
the old college bash lock, yeah.
Universe literally Ice Frog with that bash, and now the GG finally used up, and FNG says that's enough. We've witnessed enough death and destruction in this game alone, so they'll figure things out. We'll get into game number 4 in just a moment. Could theoretically be the last game of the tournament, actually, for Virtus.pro Polar. So
yeah,
they'll give whatever they've got in this next game, and hopefully we get a good one. But in this game, Evil Genius is just too much to handle.
For sure.
So